Oh, happy Monday. Where are we going to start? Let's start at King of the Hammer. So we got her all apart. Our solenoid mounting plate has become damaged. So H bracket swap out, not a big deal. We have one in stock, made up and ready to go. And then we'll rebuild this one. Cool. It's only 4 nuts. There's 2 left and 2 right, and some plugs. 3 plugs. We don't need to cover all that. I think we've done this before. So let's go to down the clown middle row, not resetting. Definitely verified problem. Wish I had a bigger flashlight, but our large piano hinge pin has backed out. It looks like it may be causing some type of a bind here on this corner, but we don't know for sure. Yeah, here, check it out. It's this is the side with the drive motor on it, right? So that might be all it is. We'll grab like baby vice grips and a hammer, and we'll shift that back over, and it should be okay. The next one is let's bounce left and right side. It says won't start. I don't know if that means the game won't coin up with card swipe, or if we have something else going on. But we're gonna have to turn that game on to see, and wait for the card readers to boot. So while we do that, we'll replace that. We'll shift that hinge, and then take it from there. Earlier I said H bracket. That's incorrect. This is the U bracket. The H bracket is the main frame that the U bracket bolts into. If we're being technical, right? Let's get a 13 mil. Oh, we probably don't want a deep socket there. Let's get a 13 short socket. I'm not going to get it on camera. We're going to take 4 nuts out, 3 plugs, and swap the assembly. I don't even think we need to power it up to verify. Yeah, that works. We're good. I don't think I'm gonna try and weld this. It's already broken before, and if we zoom in, there's signs of cracks on other areas. So we'll order a new U bracket, and we will fortify it with a gusset like this to keep this from breaking quite as fast. We got several years out of this, right? So this is good. That was a good upgrade that I made. However, it doesn't last forever. So while we're here, it would be fair to note that Superbike's number 3 monitor should be here today. So we should, if everything goes well, we can clear the board. That would be awesome. So jumping back over to down the clown, we just put some vice grips in our hinge pin and wiggled it and slid it all the way back in. So we're gonna have to power it up and see if we might have more stuff going on. So let's go ahead and power it back up and see what we can see. Please, it's got to go through a boot process first. Booting up. Buddy, there you go. So this is good. What I didn't show you guys when I went up there on initial inspection, the plug for the motor was intact. It was plugged in, and all of the Molex pins and sockets were properly in place. Nothing had backed out. So logically, we started looking a little further. And then we saw that hinge had slid out away from the drive motor side. Good, good, good. So we're going to take a really long trip to the next game right over here. So what do we notice? We have a tile out. The thing said the game would not coin up. So let's test that real quick. Well, we don't know. The note was kind of vague. We don't know if it didn't coin up or if the game may not have ping pong balls in it. 1 player, yes. Okay. That's good. Well, let's investigate that tile out. Well, nothing super special there. The plug connector on the bottom had pulled out, so we just got it plugged back in. Easy peasy, should be good to go. I did coin up and play both sides, and both sides play just fine, so I think we're golden. Alright, so we have the next one on the list says My Little Pets. Too low, so cord is getting caught. That's the wrong two, but that's okay. Our lovely education system here in the United States. Let's go see what they mean. Okay, so I think what they mean is that the game's inventory has run too low, and they're seeing some issues because of that, which is kind of weird. Let's power it up. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we have an issue with the length of our claw string. It should be able to touch the bottom of the cabinet empty and not give any problems. So the good news with this, if we turn this on, we're going to power up King of the Hammer. We can test that too. But let's check this game first. I think we can open the cabinet and just hit a free play button. Correct, free play. Bing. I don't know. It seems fine. I'm going to check it like we do with everything. I'm going to cycle it multiple times off camera. And if we find anything, then we'll come back. So we're aiming for the, there's a little bit of a divot here in our playfield merch. It lands. It lands all the way in the bottom. So, yeah. I don't know. She looks okay. I'll leave it out. I'm going to change the note to game needs to be refilled. So that's pretty good. One game needs to be refilled. The technicians team does not refill the game. That is done by the arcade team because they have an inventory system and I'm not familiar with it. Super Bikes 3, that monitor is coming in later today. So between that, we should be able to clear the board by this afternoon. I did not get it on camera, but King of the Hammer works perfectly fine now, so this is good. Well, and moving right along into laser tag, we have 2 vests that need ribbon cables. So that's going to be our next project. So we've got 2 vests with the same problem. This module keeps dropping out, and I didn't get it on camera, but when it's powered on and you wiggle it right here, this drops out. So the ribbon cable's bad. We're gonna do both sides just because, and we're gonna do that vest too, both sides. It's the same problem there, exact same problem. I'm not gonna do it on camera, but we're getting these bulk rolls of ribbon cable and ends off of Amazon. And each one of these packs is enough to do 1 vest and then probably like 6 inches left over. So, yep, they're going to get changed. If you do want to see this process, you can go backwards in time to the video of me changing out ribbon cables on one of these laser tag vests. Well, look what I discovered. I pulled the sensors off and this one's been crimped down here, and maybe it was a mistake and somebody popped it off, but yeah, that's okay. These should be like a one-shot deal. If you mess it up, start over. That's yeah, you're asking for trouble with that. I don't know, maybe I did it, and so maybe this is good advice to me as well. The good news is that we got one done. This one's ready to go. Everything works. However, the bad news, ran out of cable connectors, so we need to order more of those, and we can do the other vest, hopefully in a day or 2. So I am going to send out a reminder. We had 2 hanging up here. They weren't plugged in. The batteries were totally dead, and you can't really troubleshoot with a dead battery. So I don't know if these are up here for a problem or maybe just a dead battery, like they died midday or something, and you know, somebody took the time to hang them up here, but they did not plug them in to recharge. So now we have to wait many hours for these to charge up, and then we can troubleshoot them if they do have a problem. Well, the last thing on the board was this card reader. The note said the magic blue smoke came out, and yeah, look at that. It's like a little 8-pin chip. It's definitely cooked. Yeah, I can't zoom in much closer than that because they're very small components. But I took the back cover off, and look what I found. A little piece of metal, a screw, just hanging out in there. Yeah, it definitely smells like burnt electronics. I don't know if I want to go any further with this. We don't repair these in-house. These are intercard. We send them out to be repaired. I do want to pull this board out. Let's see what's underneath. Oh my goodness, look in there. There's another screw just hanging out in that cover. And yeah, it's kind of burnt right there too. So metal floating around inside of the card reader created a short somewhere, and yeah, there's not much we can do with this one. Let's see if I can get you in there. That main processor is it's burnt up too, so yeah. She's done. The magic blue smoke came out. Time to send it out for repair. So moving right along into GS pin setter things, T-band side frames. We like the Strike Maker ones because they have these big beefy nuts welded on. But one thing to check before you put it in the machine: these threads are good. I have checked all 4 of those. These are not good. So check them before you install them. This one's good. Threads in nice and easy. However, these 3 do not. So we're just gonna have to clean the threads up with a tap real quick. That's all I can get. Like a half turn. Crazy. If anybody is curious, oh, I need 2 hands. This is an M10 by 1.5 thread pitch. That's better. Sometimes you'll get a little bit of powder coat in there from the manufacturing process, but it's easy enough. The problem becomes once you've taken the time to install this and then you discover that these threads are not perfect. You don't have a lot of room to get a tap and a die in here because it's going to mount up to your frame wall right like that. So do it before it goes back on the part shelf. And then we're going to apply a liberal coat of grease to the pin. Install our 17mm washer on the base. We're going to add some grease in here too. Why? Because just like that, big old dollops in there. The wide end goes towards the base of the frame here. Don't put it on backward. It will cause you a very bad day. Alright. A little bit around the edge there. And then swish off the excess. Come in with a 15mm washer. Although this washer is listed as no longer available, so you might end up just putting a 17mm on the top and the bottom. When we got these, they were 17 bottom, 15 top, and this part number for that washer came up no longer available. Didn't list a replacement, so my suggestion would be just to use the 17s top and bottom. And then we got our snap ring. Did it snap? No. There it goes. That's good. One final step. I'll be right back. So we're going to put some new pads in here. Thanks to my buddy Nate Smithman in Billings, Montana. He gave me a whole box of these last year. I'm not going to go into why, but thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Here's what they don't tell you in GS pin setter school. Those like to flip-flop all over the place, and you probably don't want that to happen. So here's what you can do. Don't put super glue in the hole. A little bit of super glue, and set it on there. Lined up, nice, good, good, nice. Good, good. All right, I did one on camera. I'm gonna do the other one off camera. But this will keep it from, like when you start putting your boards back in, keep it from shifting. Or what we were doing before is we'd slide the boards in and then try to muscle the boards up and stuff these back in. Just tack them down. It doesn't have to be super glue. It could be double-sided carpet tape, as long as it's not super thick, right? Oops, I did dribble some super glue in there, but that's okay. We'll wait for it to cure, and we'll run the tap in there again, just in case we need to clear any super glue out of the thread. So while I'm thinking about it, because someone had asked about pins idling on the transport band on GS machines, there's a few things, right? Number one, worn transport band. This thing's falling apart. Look at all the rubber it's leaving on the ground. The other thing is spring tension. Do you have enough spring tension here? If you don't have sufficient tension, your T-band will kind of dip between the rear board and the rear roller. It creates kind of a soft spot, and the pins have to go uphill over that roller to get into the elevator. So if you're seeing pins idle, check your spring tension. Possibly consider replacing your transport band. There are many, many flavors of transport band out on the market right now. What I like to use is the Brunswick OEM transport band. I know that EBN Services is making a blue one. Kegel has a white one. They have a few on the market. Brunswick does this well. They have one that's called their certified transport band. I haven't had as much success with that. Even brand new, I was still seeing pins idling a little bit. I think that material might have been a little thinner or a little softer. This is pretty stiff, so it's going to support the pins in that squishy spot a whole lot better. So that's my recommendation. And we're kind of hanging these ones out to decompress, uncurl, unfurl a little bit. Because they come tightly rolled up and they need a little bit of help and planning ahead. We were doing it like the day of, just like cut the roll open and try and stuff the boards in there. Yeah, not good. Just hang them up somewhere like this. Let them relax a little bit.